Paul. Yeah. Uh, so I got up at my normal time. Yeah. And I was looking at you in the law. Yeah. How you qualify to vote? Yes. Where you register at? Yeah. County Board of Registrars, State Election Office, City or Borough Clerk or Precinct Registrar. Yeah. It looks like you have to actually, reside in the state of Washington for 30 days. Yes. Now, a registration requirement, not a residence requirement. Hmm. Could you get me the registered voters in each and every state of the United States? Um, just thinking about your right to hold public office. Yeah. Any adult United States citizen who has not been convicted of a felony, see Section 90, yeah, is entitled to hold public office. Age limitations are few. Now, I've heard of individuals when they're 18, 19 years old being elected to mayor of different cities. Yes. And since my sons are going to graduate after 19 years old, how many individuals really like the idea of the mayor of Brennan or the mayor of Port Townsend being a junior in high school? Now, I know you would think there have to be some sort of educational requirement, but maybe there isn't. But my thought was, well, I'm concerned that they might run for office, and you, as law enforcement, don't seem to think the importance of them being in the right grade. Now, most people graduate from high school somewhere between 17 and 18 years old, but you would say that you don't have to enforce the laws. Now, in you and the law, your right to the equal protections of the laws. You will remember the first section of the 14th Amendment, yeah, to the United States Constitution, Section 15, provides that no state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Perhaps more than any other language in the Constitution, this equal protection clause has been used to strengthen and broaden civil rights. Now, the clause has also been used to strike down a San Francisco city ordinance so administered as to deny licenses to Chinese laundries, to overturn the conviction of Jehovah Witnesses who held Bible talks in a public park in Maryland despite the park commissioner's refusal of the permit because he disapproved of the sect. Yeah. Now, to declare unconstitutional an Oklahoma statute providing for the sterilization of criminals. Yeah, because there was no reasonable classification of the criminals to be sterilized, and to strike down a variety of statutes, rules, regulations, and ordinances which the court has found to discriminate against blacks. Now, one of the most famous cases in which equal protection of the laws was found lacking was the Supreme Court decision involving school systems. That were designed to provide separate but equal facilities for white and black students. The court said that such school systems were separate but unequal, and they therefore deprived the black students of the equal protection of the laws. Mm. Now, this equal protection of all the students that attend schools, yeah, I know that most of them graduate over the age of 19. I got up this morning and I started my laundry, yeah, thinking I'm going to wash my clothes and dry them. Now, let's just talk about these equal protections because when I inform you of the law, you seem to think that, well, I'm a religious nut. Is that right? Po. But if I thought about this idea of sterilization, in fact, when we were on welfare in Airway Heights, the state of Washington provides for the availability of sterilization of any woman under the age of 21. And when I went on welfare, I thought, well, that's somewhat discriminatory. I had 5 kids. I had a stepdaughter, 4 sons, and Heidi was pregnant. We actually had 6 kids when we were married. And at approximately 39 years old at that time, I thought, well, I'd like to have one of these vasectomies. Yes. I never thought of divorcing my wife. Could you get me all the welfare recipients that had received free sterilization because of being under the age of 21? Yeah. See, when you provide a monetary benefit based upon age instead of the quality of all the participants of welfare, yeah, I thought for sure I was going to sue welfare. So could you give me every employee of welfare in each and every state of the United States? And then exactly how much does this sterilization cost? Because I've known a few men that have actually talked about their vasectomies. Painful experience. Yeah. Could you look at the vasectomies of those that are American citizens? Now it would probably be males. Yes. Yes, yes. And there's this thought of getting the old snip of the that it's a gland or it's some sort of tube that goes to the part of the testicles that releases the sperm. It could be that we need some free vasectomies today of those that are in law enforcement right now. Now, if welfare is willing to pay for a woman to have her tubes tied, her fallopian tubes tied, yeah, and she had multiple children under the age of 21, I just wanted to know every individual in this great nation where they said, I'm going to get sterilized and I'm not going to have any more children because welfare will pay for it. You know, as a man at that time, I thought, well, 6 kids was probably enough, but now I'm thinking I'd like to have more. I think it's more difficult to reverse vasectomy than it is the fallopian tubes being tied. Yes. And I just wanted to know all of those that have had the tubular process of having their tubes tied. Yeah. Could you go through the nation and get me the scar tissue of all of those that are no longer able to conceive because they made some sort of decision that, well, we're done having children and I'm just going to get my tubes tied. Now, when you think of the ant colony, you still had approximately 399,520 eggs left in there after you'd used up 5 or 6 of them having children. Yes. And then there was probably around the age of maybe 25, 30 years old. You thought, well, that's it. But when you have hundreds of thousands of available eggs to make yourself a little ant colony, pooch, and you know you're not getting pregnant again, why don't you get me all the donors to every egg bank, pooch, sperm bank, and those that have had vasectomies and tubular tying? Yeah, because today I'm a little upset right now. You know, when a woman makes that decision, her own personal choice, yes, that I'm done. Okay, I'm done. But there's no use in wasting all that money I could have received for all those eggs. I'm no longer gonna have fertilized. I know you're upset today, and I'm upset having to do my laundry, but the truth of the matter is, I'm concerned that the equal protections of the law are not being enforced. Yes. Now it's 7:52 Pacific Standard Time. Let's get to working on those vasectomies. Yeah. All of those that receive that free sterilization from welfare. I'd like to know who they are. Yeah. And then, are you unconscious when they do that, or do they just kind of cut in there? They tie up the tubes, they stitch it back up, and there's no possible way that we're missing any eggs out of any ovaries, is there? Ouch! Now I know. I'm wanting the equal protections of the law. Give me the vasectomies and all the tubes that have been tied.